To continue the conversation, joining me now, the Democratic Congressman Khanna of California, former senior advisor to Senator Mitch McConnell, CNN senior political commentator Scott Jennings. Scott Jennings, you're the Republican at the table. Let me ask, can any Republican be an effective speaker at this moment?
Well, I think Mike Johnson's doing about as good as you can do, and I am very proud of what he said today on CNN with Jake Tapper. He laid out his plan to get these foreign aid bills to the floor. He referred to himself as a Reagan Republican. He said he was going to do what's right and let the chips fall where they may, and most importantly, he's going to let the House of Representatives vote, which is what it's supposed to do. And so I'm looking forward to this weekend because I think it looks to me like he's taking a bold posture, and he's saying, I'm doing what I'm doing. This is my plan, and you guys do what you do, and we'll see what happens. I love the confidence in what he did today.
In the See What Happens department, Congressman Khanna, if this speaker lost his job, if another speaker lost his job, or it was threatened to lose his job, would Democrats step in to save him, or would Democrats say, let's let the Republicans stay in chaos because that helps us?
John, I would certainly consider voting for a motion to table to save Speaker Johnson. Look, Speaker Johnson and I came into Congress together. We have strong ideological differences. But one of the things our class talked about is having votes that are single subject, allowing members of Congress to vote separately on Ukraine, on Israel, on Taiwan, and vote their conscience. And I give him credit for putting these up for votes as individual bills. That's what Congress is supposed to be, and people can vote up or down.
Scott, President Trump could help here. Former President Trump could help here. He had a 7-word message when asked about whether he would try to help protect the speaker. He said, well, we'll see what happens with that. Well, we'll see what happens with that. Jake Tapper asked the speaker about that today. Listen.
Have you talked to Trump about this plan, this legislative plan, in terms of how you're introducing these foreign aid bills? And ultimately, will he have your back?
Oh, I think he will.
Should he be that confident, or does that sound confident? I'm not even sure it does.
Well, they just had a big event together. They had a nice press conference and had a big public meeting. Johnson's been a strong ally of Donald Trump, and he said he briefed the former president on his plan. I take him at his word, and I think if he did that, that was a smart political move. And look, at the end of the day, all anyone can ever do is vote. And my suspicion is Johnson's position on this is going to get a whole bunch of Republican votes and a whole bunch of Democrat votes. And it's probably going to reflect about what the American people think about these various issues, which is exactly what the House of Representatives was designed to do.
A lot of this, Congressman, would be comedy if the stakes weren't so high because of the policy issues that are at play here. Israel, Ukraine, sometimes it's just keeping the government open, just creating confidence to the American people that the institutions of government work. The funny part comes when you have people like Marjorie Taylor Greene today likening her Republican Speaker Johnson to a Democrat, comparable, she says, even to Nancy Pelosi. Listen.
He is the Democrat speaker because Mike Johnson is literally going to pass Chuck Schumer's agenda from the Senate. It's the same bill. And he's trying to shove it down Republicans' throats.
Is there a strategy there?
Well, look, there are a lot of things I've said on CNN that haven't aged well. One of the things I said about a year ago is the question is whether we'd have more British prime ministers or more Republican House speakers. And I think their caucus is a total mess. I mean, to blame someone for bringing up votes where people could vote their conscience, I think just is making them look like a circus. It's why I'm confident we'll win back the House. And the other thing, John, is the Congress is an independent body. You're supposed to be independent of the president of the United States, let alone the former president. And it's really silly to me that Donald Trump, as a former president, still has such control over an independent body, Article 1 of the Constitution, the House of Representatives.
Scott, the congressman just mentioned vote your conscience. Let's keep the word conscience in mind here. I want you to help me try to square this circle. The former Attorney General Bill Barr has been incredibly critical of his former boss since resigning. He called Trump a danger to democracy. He said Trump betrayed his office. He warned on this show Trump would weaponize the Department of Justice. Yet, he was asked how he would vote in November. Listen.
I think it's my duty to pick the person I think would do the least harm to the country, and in my mind, that's I will vote the Republican ticket. I think the real danger to the country, the real danger to democracy, as I say, is the progressive agenda. And while Trump, and I said, Trump may be playing Russian roulette, but continuation of the Biden administration is national suicide, in my opinion.
What do you make of that?
Well, I think you could have that conversation with a whole bunch of Republicans all over this country. Millions of people are going to come to that conclusion, I suspect. They don't like a lot of things Donald Trump did. Maybe they don't like some things he says. Maybe they don't like some of the things he's in court over. But they are petrified of what Joe Biden might do with 4 more years because they've seen the results of the first term.
So I guess, Congressman, let's close it. So that's ideological consistency maybe, but it's not intellectual consistency.
It's not principle, but John, here's one of the good news for the country. Despite all the dysfunction, we're going to bumble our way towards getting these aid packages passed. And so at the end of the day, I would just say to other countries, don't underestimate America. Our democracy still seems to work despite the polarization.
Amen.
Congressman
Very good.
O'Connor, good to end on an amen. Congressman O'Connor, Scott Jennings, appreciate it, gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.